very first episode of this practical camping series video that we're doing. We'll start from the very basics of camping in this episode, so what we need to think about even before buying any sort of equipment, and then as we progress in the series we'll go through different techniques and tips and tricks and whatever else. So I've brought out a few of our camping equipment here today, and I'll just talk about it and talk about a few things and show you bits and bobs. Now, the problem nowadays is that you walk into a camping shop, or even you go Facebook and you've got all the feeds about camping and everything, and it gets so confusing. You get like hundreds of different kinds of products. You go to an aisle, you get a full shelf full of toilets, different kinds. You got another one, you get a full shelf full of cooking equipment. One of the reasons why is that there's no Swiss Army knife to camping, because each individual are different, and we've got different styles of camping, hence we need different kinds of equipment. So coming over, and what I want to discuss today is, before you even think about what equipment you need to purchase or look at, you need to answer a few questions, and we'll run through it. Okay. The first question is, what sort of camping will you be doing? Now, there is what you call overlanding. If you don't know what it is, it's more of traveling from point A to point B on long distances, meaning you need to camp along the way. So if that's the sort of camping style that you want to do, then you consider stuff like rooftop tents, an awning tent, which we do have. Basically what you want is to be able to set up your camp in a fastest possible time. The other one is, are you a short-term camper? So meaning, are you a weekend camper? Are you going to be camping for 2-3 days max, maybe? And are you a long-term camper? Are you going to be camping for longer periods of time in one place? So this is where you consider a full-size tent, gazebo setup and everything else. It's worth the time and effort setting it up, because you'll be there for several days and you'll be enjoying in comfort. The next thing is, where will you be camping? Are you going to be camping in an area where there's going to be full facilities, a little bit of facilities, or are you going to be roughing it out? This will obviously dictate what sort of equipment you're going to buy. If you're going to go to places with full facilities, then you don't need to buy toilets, shower equipment and that sort of thing. If you're going to go to an area wherein there's hardly any facilities, maybe you might even need to bring water with you, then you need to consider the equipment that you need to take with you as well. Okay, so for example, I'll show you a few bits and pieces we have here. So this is kind of shower and bath, right? So if you're going to be going to places with no facilities, you'll have to consider taking with you buckets. This one's pretty cool. You can fold it down like that, so that's pretty lightweight, takes up no space, so that's perfect. Buckets like these, we've had it for 2 years plus, and it's held strong, really. It's really good. This is really nice. So there's different kinds of toilets. We'll go into more detail with the equipment on later episodes, but check this out. That's a pop-up pooper, is what they call it, and it's flat, fairly lightweight, and to set it up, all you do is just basically open it like that, and that's ready set up, right? And it holds a decent amount of weight. I think it's about 100 kgs or something like that. And all it is that there's a bag. You put the bag in neatly, and you put some powder, which I believe is lime or some sort, to decompose the thing, and that's it. That's your toilet. And you need to think about, how often will you be camping? Because there's no point in buying the most expensive equipment if you're only going to be using it once or twice a year. Unless, of course, money isn't an issue for you, then go for gold. And the other thing as well is, you need to think about, what season will you be camping the most? Do you like cold weather, hot weather? For example, sleeping bags. So you need to also match the rating of the sleeping bag on with the season that you'll be camping the most. There's different ratings for sleeping bags. If you're in places like Australia, you'll be camping in summer. You need to think about bug spray. Look, even the lighting that you'll be taking with you, right? Nowadays, LED is pretty popular, and you'll find that LED lighting are all like bright, whitish light, and that's perfect for lighting up an area. But you'll be amazed how much bugs these guys attract because of the shade of light. So if you come over here, and even like lighting kits like these, right? Some of them you can change the color of the LEDs. which are pretty cool. And this one, for example, this is a gazebo light strip, and this naturally the LEDs, the chips, are warm white, not bright white, so they do attract way less bugs. So you need to think about little things like that. You need to think about who are you going to be camping with. So are you single? Are you going to be with your partner? Have you got family, kids? That will make a huge difference in the equipment that you'll take with you or decide to buy, and what you need to prepare. So I'll give you an example. If your wife isn't prepared to rough it out, then again, there's a whole lot of different kinds of toilets. She may not like the idea of a pop-up pooper that I just showed you. She might want a full chemical toilet, or she might not want to rough it out. She might want to go to camping places with full facilities. Bedding is the other thing you need to consider. So for example, you've got different types of bedding. You can get self-inflating mattresses, as thin as this. You can get a more comfortable air mattress. Each of them will have their own advantages and disadvantages. We'll discuss this in later videos. Or you might just be happy with mat, simple mat, and a sleeping bag on top of it. Pillows. We were happy with this pillow for years, and that was comfy enough. It packs up super small because it's an inflatable pillow. And or you might want to take a full-size pillow with you. If you have kids with you, make sure you have the proper entertainment for them. When you set up your camp, and also when you pack up to leave, it does take time, and there's nothing worse than having bored kids complaining and whatever else. Make sure that they are entertained while you guys are packing up and setting up your campsite. The other thing you need to think about is there any member of the family that's got any medical needs? So for example, medication. Does the medication need to be chilled? So you might need to think about, if it's short trips, you might need to think about getting one of these ice boxes or coolers, put ice in it. Or if it's longer trips, you might need to consider buying a fridge. And also anyone with, say, back issues. So bedding is a perfect example. So if you've got back issues, you might need to choose the air mattress over a self-inflating mat. You might need a bed that's raised up because you might have knee problems or even, again, back problems. So you might need beds that are elevated from the ground. And the other thing is, consider the space in your vehicle. What sort of vehicle do you have? How big storage do you have in your vehicle? So if you are going to be buying big things like gazebo, full-size tent, you can't fold those up, then most likely it will end up on the roof. So to start with, do you even have a roof rack? Do you have a roof tray? If you've got a roof tray or a roof rack or a roof basket, is the length of whatever you're going to put in there even going to fit? Once you've got a list of the bigger items that you intend to buy, do some measurements in the shop or have a look online, see what the measurements are, and kind of visualize it on the roof or in the boot. Make sure there's enough space to fit it in. And my suggestion is, if you are very new to camping, it might be a good idea to camp in areas or in places with full facilities. One advantage is that you've got obviously all the facilities, especially a toilet and bath in the kitchen, and these are the most challenging parts of camping sometimes. At least you can only worry about your sleeping and your shelter and your food. In the following episodes, we'll be talking more into detail into those different areas of the campsite. So not only will I help you decide what equipment works for you, I'll present you different equipment, but we'll look into different techniques, and I'll share some tips and tricks to make life easier in and out of the campsite. So thanks for watching, people, and I will see you in the next episode.